In the shadowy annals of criminal history, where audacity meets infamy, some tales are so outlandish, they seem torn from the pages of a Hollywood thriller. This is not a work of fiction. This is the unbelievable story of a man who looked at the most secure prisons in the world not as a final destination, but as a temporary inconvenience. This is the story of Stephen J. Russell, the bank robber, the con artist, and the escape artist extraordinaire who broke out of prison not once, not twice, but an astonishing 18 times. He wasn't born a master criminal. Stephen J. Russell's early life in Virginia Beach was remarkably ordinary. Adopted into a conservative family, he played the part of a model son, an officer in his local police department, a dutiful husband, and a loving father. He was, by all accounts, living the American dream. But beneath this veneer of suburban normalcy, a secret was festering. Stephen was gay, and the immense pressure of living a double life was a ticking time bomb. In 1978, the bomb detonated. The revelation of his true identity shattered his carefully constructed world. He left his wife, his job on the police force, and the life he knew, embarking on a new path that would lead him from law enforcement to the top of the FBI's most wanted list. His first forays into crime were clumsy, almost amateurish. A simple slip-and-fall scam landed him his first conviction and his first taste of a prison cell. It was here, in the Harris County Jail, that the legend of Houdini began. For Stephen, a locked door was not a barrier. It was. He noticed the casual way guards handled their walkie-talkies in civilian clothes. He began to observe, to learn, to plan. He acquired a spare set of clothes and a radio, and one day, he simply dressed up, picked up the radio, and confidently walked out the front door, blending in with the off-duty officers. It was a brazen act, a stunningly simple deception, and it worked flawlessly. He was a free man, but freedom for Stephen was a fleeting concept, always tethered to his insatiable need for a lavish lifestyle. He soon found himself back in the system, this time for more sophisticated financial frauds, and with each new incarceration came a new, more elaborate escape plan. He was a chameleon, a master of disguise and psychological manipulation. He once used a green felt-tip pen to dye his white prison uniform, transforming it into a surprisingly convincing imitation of a doctor's scrubs. With a stolen security badge, he simply walked past the guards, who saw not a convict, but a trusted medical professional. His methods became legendary within the prison system. He would spend months meticulously studying schedules, guard rotations, and structural weaknesses. He learned that the key to any great escape wasn't brute force, but exploiting human error and expectation. He once faked a heart attack so convincingly that he was transferred to an external hospital, from which he easily slipped away. On another occasion, he used his knowledge gained as a police officer to impersonate an FBI agent over the phone, convincing prison officials to grant him an early, unscheduled release. The sheer audacity was breathtaking. He wasn't just escaping. He was making the system an accomplice in its own failure. Perhaps his most infamous escape was a testament to his long-term planning and chilling dedication. While incarcerated in a Texas maximum security unit, Stephen began a slow, deliberate process of self-starvation. He methodically reduced his food intake over many months, shedding pound after pound until he was a skeletal shadow of his former self. He complemented this physical transformation with meticulously faked medical documents, diagnosing himself with AIDS-related complications. He even used laxatives to mimic the symptoms of the disease, fooling the prison's medical staff completely, convinced he was at death's door. The Texas Department of Criminal Justice granted him a compassionate parole, releasing him to a nursing home to live out his final days. But Stephen J. Russell wasn't dying. He was plotting. As soon as he was out, he stopped his charade, regained his health, and promptly disappeared. The man the state had written off as a terminal patient was now free, once again mocking the very system designed to contain him. During this period of freedom, he sought to finance his life on the run. He walked into a Houston bank, posed as a millionaire looking to open a new account, and charmed his way into the position of chief financial officer. For months, he embezzled hundreds of thousands of dollars before his scheme inevitably unraveled. When the authorities finally closed in, they didn't find a frail, dying man. They found a healthy, thriving con artist who had, once again, made fools of them all. His final capture was the end of the line. The state of Texas, embarrassed and enraged by his repeated escapes, was determined to ensure he would never see the outside of a cell again. In 1998, after his last capture, a judge, wary of the cat-and-mouse game, handed down a staggering sentence, a total of 144 years. He was classified as a maximum security risk, the highest possible designation. He was sent to the Alan B. Polunsky Unit, one of Texas's most secure supermax prisons. Today, Stephen J. Russell resides in solitary confinement. He spends 23 hours a day locked in a small concrete cell, a permanent measure to prevent the man known as Houdini and King Kong from ever working his magic again. The doors are no longer simple puzzles, but layers of reinforced steel and electronic surveillance. The guards are no longer susceptible to simple tricks, but are trained to see him as a perpetual and profound threat. The system, having learned its lessons the hard way, has built a cage from which not even he can escape. The story of Stephen J. Russell is more than a crime blotter footnote. It is a gripping saga of human ingenuity, twisted toward a lawless purpose. It is a chilling reminder that the greatest threat to any system is not the force that attacks it from the outside, but the intelligence that subverts it from within. His 18 escapes stand as a bizarre and unparalleled record in the annals of crime. A testament to a man who, for a time, could outsmart, outwit, and outrun justice itself, proving that the most formidable prison walls are not made of concrete and steel, but of the mind. And for a brief, dazzling moment in criminal history, his was a mind that could not be contained.